70 smart questions to ask in an interview in 2025. Having prepared questions to ask in an interview could definitely make your life easier. You're already sitting under the fluorescent lights of an unfamiliar conference room, facing the person who may decide the fate of your job search. Or maybe you're at home, looking at your interviewers on a computer screen, desperately trying to remember that perfect work-related anecdote to share. The last thing you want is to freeze when the hiring manager asks, "Do you have any questions for me?" Remember, a job interview isn't just a chance for the hiring manager to grill you. It's your opportunity to sniff out whether a position would be as great for you as you would be for the position. For this reason, it's vital to have a few good questions to ask in an interview as a candidate. Tips for asking questions in a job interview. Oh, before we get to the list of questions, here are a few key pointers to keep in mind. Don't say you have no questions. This could give the interviewer the impression that you aren't serious about the opportunity and didn't care to prepare for the interview. Be flexible. It's okay and encourage to jot down questions ahead of your interview, but don't be afraid to deviate from the list if your questions have already been answered or if your discussion prompts new questions. Ask specific questions. Show you're invested and you've been paying attention throughout the interview process by customizing your questions to the specific position and company. Don't just ask questions at the end. Interviews work best when they're a conversation, so don't be afraid to pose questions when it makes sense throughout. Ask questions you really want to know the answers to. This is your chance to ask about topics you're genuinely curious about that will affect whether you even want the job. Questions about the job. What does a typical day or week look like in this role? What are the most immediate projects that need to be addressed? Can you show me examples of projects I'd be working on? What are the skills and experiences you're looking for in an ideal candidate? What attributes does someone need to have to be really successful in this position? What types of skills is the team missing that you're looking to fill with a new hire? What are the biggest challenges that someone in this position would face? What sort of budget would I be working with? Is this a new role or will I be taking over for an employee who's leaving? How does this position contribute to the company overall? Do you expect the main responsibilities for this position to change in the next 6 months to a year? Questions about training and professional development. What does your onboarding process look like? What learning and professional development opportunities are available to your employees? Will there be opportunities for stretch assignments where I can learn and use new skills? Are there opportunities for advancement within the company? Would I be able to represent the company at industry conferences? Where have successful employees previously in this position progressed to? Questions about performance evaluation. What are the most important things you'd like to see someone accomplish in the first 30, 60, and 90 days? What are the performance expectations of this position over the first 12 months? What is the performance review process like here? How often would I be formally reviewed? What metrics or goals will my performance be evaluated against? Questions about the interviewer. How long have you been with the company? Has your role changed since you've been here? What did you do before this? Why did you come to this company? What's your favorite part about working here? What's one challenge you occasionally or regularly face in your job? What part of your job are you most excited about over the next few months? Are there any upcoming initiatives or projects you are especially interested in? Why are you excited about hiring a new person in this role? Questions about the company. I've read about the company's founding, but can you tell me more about another significant company development? What direction do you see this company heading in over the next few years? What can you tell me about your new products or plans for growth? What are the current goals that the company is focused on? And how does this team work to support hitting those goals? What gets you most excited about the company's future? What are the company's most important values? I know one of your company values is value here. How does that manifest in the workplace? How does the company ensure it's upholding its values? What's the typical leadership style here? Questions about the team. Can you tell me about the team I'll be working with? Who will I work with most closely? Who will I report to directly? Can you tell me about my direct reports? What are the team's biggest strengths and challenges? Do you expect to hire more people in this department in the next 6 months? Which other departments work most closely with this one, and how? Questions about company culture. How would you describe the work environment here? Is the work typically more collaborative or more independent? How does the team form and maintain strong bonds? Can you tell me about the last company event you did together? What's your favorite office tradition? What do you and the team usually do for lunch? Does anyone at the company or on this team hang out outside the office? Do you ever do joint events with other companies or departments? What's different about working here than anywhere else you've worked? How has the company changed since you joined? How has the organization overcome challenges with remote work? How does the company make sure that remote and hybrid employees are given the same opportunities and standards as in-office employees? Questions for your future boss. How long have you been a manager? What do you like most about leading this team? What is your management style like? How often do you use software tool? How frequently do you provide feedback to the team? What other departments or units will I interact with? What would be my first challenge in this position if I get hired? What makes this office special? Which experience prepared you the most for this one and why? What surprises employees the most after they start? Questions to ask at the end of an interview. What are the next steps in the interview process? Is there anything else I can provide you with that would be helpful? Can I answer any final questions for you? Questions to avoid. What does company do exactly? Or anything that shows you haven't done your research. When does my PTO kick in? Can I take every Monday off during football season? Just how much is the monthly childcare allowance? How sensitive are the people working here? Can they take a joke? When do I start? Or anything that comes across as presumptuous or cocky,